And we are back. This is episode 21, The Ugly Truth. Fatima goes over there to the hospital and Jeremiah's there and he's somewhat a broken man at this point and he immediately cusses her out and like, what the fuck you doing here? And she calmly tells him, you need to sign the papers. And I ain't signing yet. And she says, well, I work at a law office. He said, good for you. And she said, well, I can get power of attorney. And especially if they drug test you. Oh, you one of them kind of bitches. Okay, there's one bitch she let slide. One more. And you do know that the checks will stop. It ain't about the money. There go that actor. It's about my mama. I'm gonna miss my mama. Y'all just want her dead. And she tells him, it's not that, Jeremiah. Your mother is not your mother anymore. You have to understand that those machines are what's keeping her alive. And it's only fair that you let her go peacefully. And then he says to her, have you ever had any loss like this? And she said, yes, my father. Hold up. Pause. Now, if I'm not mistaken, back here on a couple of episodes ago, didn't Fatima's mama say that if her dad came back right at this moment, because her dad reminded her of Zach, that she don't know what she would do because she loved him so much, and her panty drawers might get wet for him? Yeah, as if he was still alive. That's my point. Tyler, you forget what you write. But you know, those of us who review your shows, and we are TV connoisseurs, we pick up on it all. Because if you remember, she was pretty clear that she was still in love in so many ways with Fatima's dad. But now, mind you, right here in this scene, he's dead. And Jeremiah's like, I'm hurting. This really hurts me. And she says, I know. And then she says, but your mom is gone. And then he apologizes. I'm sorry for calling you a bitch. And she says, yeah, just don't let it happen again. Zach calls for Tim, but she's already on her way home. And she tells him that she thinks she gonna get through to Jeremiah, and Jeremiah just may have a change of heart. And then she says that Bryce is going to get the money, and he says that better get me my money. He better run me my dollar bills, y'all, cause he done fucked up the church's money. Shout out to Funky Dave. Fatima tells Zach, you need to get something to eat. He said, how am I going to eat it this time? And then he said, what made you come see me at the hospital? She says, actually, it was Connie who encouraged me to go see you. Connie, what? Not my Connie. Yeah. Connie from the project with them 3 kids on Section 8. And he says, she's matured a lot, because back in the day, she would have just been trying to get up on it. And she was like, well, yeah, I know. And next thing you know, Jeremiah calls, and so does the doctor. And they let Zach know that the mom has gone into cardiac arrest. And when they get there, she's already gone. And Jeremiah is doing that Jeremiah acting, baby. When I tell you, Jeremiah almost had me crying. Because I know what that's like. Figuring out how to sign the papers, and me and my sister, me and my sister came together on everything to a T when it came to my mother when she was in hospice. But we did disagree on the do not resuscitate. And I think this is called DNR for short. And I wanted to do it. She didn't. And my sister is way, way, way more emotional than I am. Uh, she just about cried every day when we found out that the cancer had spread to my mother's bones. And but I knew what my mama wanted. My mama wanted to be resuscitated. She wanted to have every inch of her life. But the hospital nurse explained to us that even if she was resuscitated with her cancer being so severe, she would be in so much pain during the resuscitation and after. And she said, she probably wouldn't live but like 30, 45 minutes after that anyway. And so I reluctantly signed. So I know, baby, all up in my chest, I know. Anyway, um, she went into cardiac arrest, and this time she really is not. The machines are nothing. It's keeping her alive. She's gone. And Jeremiah says her body is still warm. And Zach says, I know, and I feel so bad right now, but you can get clean. And he said, why? When the only thing that ever loved me is dead. And he said, that's not true. I love you. And he said, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I can't stay here. My mama's gone, Zach, and I'm ready to go too. And then he says, Jeremiah, you have kids. And he says, my kids don't love me. And you don't either. And he said, but I do. I can help you. I can help you get clean. He says, no, I'm leaving. And he's like, I'm just keeping it real. I'm about to go get high in the motherfucker. But mom has some things that I think she would want you to have. And he was like, Zach says to mom, once Jeremiah leaves, I'm going to be a different person. I'm going to be a different person for this mama right here. Um, I'm going to be a better father to my kids than you were a mother to me. But mom, I want you to go fly with the angels. And he kisses her and tells her that I now know you love me, but you love me in your own way. And I definitely love you. So they go down over there to the projects. And things are still silent though. And Connie and Fatima talk. And she was like, dang. Oh, before that, let me get back to that. I missed the part right there. Jeremiah admits to Zach that he can't pay for the funeral. And Zach says, I got it. And he says, just let me know when the arrangements are because I'm leaving. But like I said, back at the projects, everything is still silent. And Fatima runs into Connie. And she's like, but do you know what the arrangements are? And she says, no. And that's just not in the cards right now, but we're going to get things taken care of. And then she was like, Gladys was wild, but she was crazy. And I know that Gladys was doing the best she can. I think Connie really sees herself in Gladys, and I think Connie, wants to change. And she was like, because Miss Gladys was mad spicy, and she's like, I know, and Fatima really opens up to her in this moment, and they open up to each other, ex-girlfriend, ex-fuck, but whatever you want to call it, to current fiance, and they comfort each other, and then Zach comes out, and he and Connie embrace, and Fatima. I wish that wasn't the case there. I know she knows that they have a history, but they also have Miss Gladys in common. And even though Miss Gladys wasn't Connie's mom, they did have a bond. And I just wish that had been a more appropriate embrace. And due to the they separate. Well, Zach gets in the car and he has a box in his hand, and she's like, "What you think is in the box?" And he pulls out a VHS tape, and he's like, "How the hell are we gonna play this, baby?" When I tell you, I know that's the truth because I still got my VCR slash DVD player dual head that everybody wanted back in the early 2000s. I still got mine. Got it in 2005, still holding on. And we'll play a VHS tape in a minute. When I tell you I miss VHS so much, baby, I went down to the DG. Quick story, right quick. And I was like, uh, you know, uh, I still want to record stuff on my VHS tape. And the lady like, you ain't gonna be recording nothing no time soon because they didn't quit making VHS tape. So that was really a real moment. So he's looking like, what am I gonna play this on? And she was like, well, we'll go play it at the office. And then he's like, but they closed, aren't they? And then she was like, well, ain't nobody there. Let's go on up there. Then she goes to, once they make it to the office, she goes down there and rolls in the old roller with the VHS tape and TV on it like we had back in the day at school. They put in the tape and Zach's like, wait, just a minute. I don't want to do it. And then she said, well, I'll do it. I know how to play it. And he's like, but I don't want no bullshit. You know how Jeremiah is. You know he was over there high and whatnot. So she's like, let's just play the tape. And the tape comes on, and there's Gladys. She's out there playing with the boys, and the boys are playing with each other. And Gladys knows that at this point, I can tell that they are trying to say, for me, this is me reading into it, and I'm a pretty good judge of character with these types of shows. I could see that she was, in her mode of, to me, in her beginning stages of getting on drugs, and she knew that she wasn't going to be the type of mother that those boys needed. So, however, her influence in the future definitely did impact Jeremiah, though, didn't it? He's a full blown drug addict, and I think it was due to her influence. But she says this parenting thing is hard, and but I love my kids, and let me sprinkle in some new knowledge on you. Yes, yes, yes. As a former social worker, I had to pull all of my ambivalence of how parenting is out of myself because when I was at DHS, I was not a parent, okay? But all the other social workers there were parents. And I had no compassion for parents like uh, Gladys. I didn't initially. But then I had to come to the realization that even the most neglectful parent, now I'm not talking about abuse, I'm talking about the parents who every now and then didn't have any food in the house to eat or, left their babies in the dirt. Like, baby, when I tell you I saw it all. But everything across the board. And then I saw parents like Gladys. And parents like Gladys, I see and I came to learn that they do love their children. They don't know how to be parents. And even though none of us were born knowing how to be parents, it's a situation where you kind of grow into it. And when you become a drug addict, shout out to Marie's mama over there on Bell Collective. When you are addicted to drugs, it is so difficult to separate parenting for your need to get high. And that's where I see Gladys was in that moment. And she walks away, and Zach, he cries and says, now I know for sure that she did love me. She didn't know how to be a parent, but I'm going to be the best parent I can be. Now, he's talking about for baby A and baby possibility. with old Karen over here. And really, I want them to go ahead when we get back to sisters and I start reviewing sisters. Wrap it up, Tyler. Wrap it up. Let us know if Zach is their baby daddy or not. I know that they sent that little blank piece of paper over there and showing that Zach was the father or whatever. Just wrap it up. I mean, come up with something else. Stop dragging these stories out and then having us confused as to where you going with this stuff between the shows. You can make this show cohesive with that show over there. Because that show over there, Poe Fatima is laying on the floor in a puddle of blue. So we think. Hopefully, he explains that away and that's a dream. Anyway, and she says, well, you're going to be a better parent than you think. And he says, huh? And then she says, more than you know. And he said, Fatima, what are you saying? And she says, that's right, Zach. I'm pregnant. And the show ends. And that is going to be my review for Zatima this season. It was a great season, even though, like I said, all the continuity errors were there and very, very present. We have no explanation of where Bryce came from. And for some reason, that still bothers me. And I know that it's just TV, but it's not just TV when we're invested, Tyler. Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, y'all. Tyler Perry. It's not just TV when we're invested. When we see these things that you're doing and how you, at the beginning of this, had all that push and pull with these characters, it doesn't gel when you go back and watch Sisters. Because, on Sisters, he and Fatima are trying to get back together and there is Karen in the way. So hopefully we'll tie some things up and move right along with new stories. Please, I'm begging you. But that is the end of my review. I'm going to chunk them up as I do. Deuces. Thanks for watching. Y'all have been very, very, very supportive of my Zatima reviews. I thank you so much. But now we got to get the likes and the subscriptions up. Like I said so many times, the likes have to match the and likes and subscriptions have to match the views. Now I have close to $1,000. Yeah, I wish. What? Speaking into existence. I have close to over 1,000 views of my Zatima reviews, but 0 subscriptions. So I know at least out of that 1,000 views, it was about probably 400 or 500 people watching the review. So those 400 or 500 people, if you get my subscriptions up, they will have monetized me. Come on in. You welcome. But anyway, keep watching though. Keep watching. I love you all so much, and I am going to say these are country conversations, and I am out. Thank you. Bye bye.